Greetings, taxable assets, or should I say, collateral damage. Welcome to the Department of Analytica. I am Senior Auditor Valerius Krause.
Processing. Audio log initiated.
If you're listening to this, you are likely already in debt to the Imperial Tithe. Today, we are not here to hold your hand. We are not, I repeat, not here to discuss the hobby.
Affirmative.
We are here to conduct a forensic audit, a deep dive into the financial liability currently sitting on my desk, staining it with its sheer optimism.
The file in question, Senior Auditor, is labeled Rating All the Upcoming 40K Discount Sets, compiled by the civilian contractor known as Auspex Tactics.
Auspex Tactics, a civilian, a man who looks at a box of gray plastic and sees fun. He looks at a sprue and sees potential.
His analysis is popular, sir. High viewership metrics.
I look at that same box and I see a compliance trap. I see a liquidity crisis. I see the slow, grinding machinery of Games Workshop's Q1 2026 bridge strategy, a strategy designed to extract wealth from you, the consumer, before the entire edition changes.
Understood. The purpose of this audit is cross-referencing.
Exactly. We are going to cross-reference this civilian's popularity contest, his little star ratings and his viewer polls, against the cold, hard, unforgiving data of the strategic wargaming market analysis. Scribe.
Yes, Senior Auditor.
Prepare the disposal bin. We're going to separate the assets from the liabilities. We're going to find out who is making money, who is winning tournaments, and who, frankly, is about to get liquidated by the 11th edition transition.
The protocols are set.
This is not a review. This is a financial autopsy. Read the first entry from the Auspex report. And Scribe.
Yes.
Try not to bore me to death. The ventilation fan is already doing a remarkably good job of that.
Acknowledged. Accessing tab 1. The first item for review is the Spearhead Zangor Warflock.
Oh, throne. We're starting at the bottom of the barrel. Excellent.
According to Auspex Tactics, this set is, and I quote, the single nichiest appeal box set for Warhammer 40K players.
Nichiest. That's a civilian word for unsellable. Go on.
The data indicates it contains a Zangor Shaman, 2 sets of Enlightened, and 10 Zangors.
Zangors. 10 of them.
Right. The numbers. Give me the numbers. What's the so-called value here? The report states the points value is approximately 230 points total. The efficiency rating is calculated at 1.5 points per dollar.
1.5. That's just insulting. We'll come back to that. What else?
Auspex notes that while the discount is 32%, the buyer interest is extremely low.
Define extremely low. Give me a hard metric.
Only 2% of the surveyed population expressed an intent to purchase this box.
2%.
He gave it a rating of 2.7 out of 5.
2%. Scribe, 2% is not a market demographic. 2% is a clerical error. It is a rounding discrepancy in the segmentum census. It's the number of people who clicked the wrong button on the poll.
The data is what it is, sir.
But we need to go deeper. Auspex says niche. I say liability. Let's audit the asset density. 230 points. In a box that is going to cost you well over $100, maybe $130, $140. That is our first massive red flag. This is what we in the Department of Analytica call polystyrene inflation. You are paying for the volume of plastic, for the air in the box, not for the volume of power on the tabletop.
A poor point-to-dollar ratio.
It's abysmal. Now, break down the data sheet. Let's get into the tactical weeds. Why is the buy intent at a pitiful 2%? It's not just the price. What's wrong with the unit itself?
The Zangor profile is underwhelming, Senior Auditor. It's toughness 4 with a save of 6+ sig.
A 6+ save, that's a t-shirt. They're wearing t-shirts into a war zone.
They do have an invulnerable save of 5+ save, but their damage output is negligible against power armor.
Negligible is a polite word, a bureaucratic word. Let's call it what it is. Useless. It's functionally 0. Let's simulate a combat phase right now. Yeah. This is the part Auspex glosses over with his fun rating.
Very well.
You have 10 of these Zangors. Your 2% investment, you get them across the board somehow. They charge a standard, bog standard intercessor squad baseline for all our audits. They're hitting on 4s if they're lucky. Then they're wounding on 5s because their strength is pathetic. Statistically, Scribe, you are forcing maybe, 2 saves.
That sounds approximately correct.
The intercessor laughs. He doesn't even need to roll the dice. He just looks at you with pity. His ceramite doesn't even get scratched. And then he swings back, and those T3 bodies just evaporate.
But Auspex does note that Thousand Sons players need chaff, that they're used to generate Cabal points, sir.
He's not wrong. That's a valid tactical point. But look at the opportunity cost. That is the metric the civilian analyst always ignores, the opportunity cost. If you spend 130 of your hard-earned dollars on this box of bird goats, you are not spending $130 on rubric Marines.
Or Scarab Occult Terminator.
Exactly. The units that actually win you the game, you are filling your deployment zone with models that exist solely to die. Their only function is to be removed from the table. In the Department of Analytica, we invest in killers, not victims.
An investment in lethal assets.
Furthermore, look at the sprues. Open the sprue analysis tab in our file. These are just the Age of Sigmar sprues with a 40K upgrade frame tossed in. Correct.
Affirmative. They come with chain swords and auto pistols on a separate, small upgrade frame.
Inefficiency. Waste. You are paying for plastic shields and fantasy axes you cannot legally use in the 41st millennium context, not effectively anyway. You are buying waste plastic that will sit in your bits box until the sun explodes.
So the component value is also deleted.
Precisely. This box is a sell. It is a do not touch. It's a liquidity trap for players who think they need birds when they should be buying sorcerers. It is a fiscal hemorrhage. Get it off my desk. Next item.
Moving to the next file. A dual entry, sir. The Maelstrom Drukhari Battle Force and the Votan Battalion.
Ah, the space pirates and the space dwarves.
Meh.
Let's see what fresh financial pain they're offering.
Auspex describes the Drukhari box as a, quote, witch-themed combat patrol. It contains a succubus, 10 witches, 3 reavers, 5 hellions, and 2 venoms. He rates it a 3.2 out of 5.
Witches. In this economy. With this much indirect fire in Overwatch. Go on.
He notes that the Spectacle of Spite is a strong detachment, sir. It gives benefits to witch cult units.
Strong on paper. We'll circle back to that delusion. What about the Votan?
For the Votan box, the analysis says it's an Iron King heavy set. It contains the Grimnir, 2 full sets of Einher Hearthguard, and some Pioneers. The total points value, however, is less than 300.
Stop! Read that
The
again.
total points value is less than 300, sir.
Less than 300 points. We're talking about penny stock violence here. A boxed set that will retail for, what, $170?
The approximate MSRP is indeed $170, sir, based on previous battle forces.
$170 for less than 300 points. The efficiency on that is, what did Auspex calculate?
The efficiency is calculated at 1.7 points per dollar for the Votan box.
Inflationary garbage. Do you understand what that means, Scrap? It means the consumer is paying for the cardboard. They're paying for the air inside the box. 1.7 points per dollar is a return on investment so low it should be criminalized by the Adeptus Arbitrage.
It is.
Below the median.
Let's contextualize that for the listeners who haven't audited a supply ledger recently. A good rating, or what we'd call a blue chip investment, is usually around 3.5, maybe 4 points per dollar.
Right.
That means for every single dollar you hand to Games Workshop, you get 4 points of fighting power on the table. With this Votan box, you are handing them $1, and you are getting back crumbs. You're getting pocket lint.
It is an Iron King heavy set, sir. The Grimnir, and especially the Einher Hearthguard, are elite units.
Of course.
So a high dollar cost, but a low points cost.
It's the elite tax. See, the Votan range is modern. The sculpts are dense, they're beautiful, fine. But because they are elite, you need fewer of them to fill an army roster. This sounds good, right? Fewer models to paint.
In theory, yes.
Until you realize the box price is fixed. You are paying $170 for a force that can't even hold 2 objectives on its own. To build a standard 2,000-point army using this box as your core, you would need to buy, what, 7 of them?
That would be mathematically correct. 7 of these boxes, that is a mortgage payment, Scribe. It is fundamentally unsustainable for the average consumer.
And, the Drukhari box.
Yeah.
The Maelstrom Battle Force.
The witches. Here we have the opposite problem. You're not paying for elite units, you're paying for a high model count with low survivability.
A glass cannon asset.
Precisely. The Spectacle of Spite detachment, which Auspex mentions with that naive civilian hope of his, relies on witches being able to kill things before they themselves die. But in 10th edition, a little thing called Overwatch exists.
The stratagem that allows shooting in the opponent's movement phase?
The very same. So you, the hopeful Drukhari player, you move your flimsy witches out from behind a wall. Your opponent, who has a brain, spends 1 command point. He fires a single heavy flamer.
Which auto hits.
Which auto hits. And because witches have toughness 3 and no armor save to speak of, they just evaporate. They're gone before they even get to roll a charge die. You are buying a box of models that are statistically likely to be removed from the board before they engage in their primary function.
That seems like a high-risk investment.
It's the highest risk. Unless you are a master tactician, and let's be honest, most of you listening are just rolling dice and praying. This is a high-list asset. Auspex mentions the risk of a balance patch with hope. He hopes it will be fine. I audit the risk. And the risk is that you buy a box of witches, you spend 3 months painting them, and then the rules team in Nottingham decides that a 4+ invulnerable save in melee is uninteractive, and they remove it.
And then the asset is worthless.
Then what do you have? You have a shelf of shelf warmers. These are both low-value assets. Dump them. Liquidate. What's next? Give me something with actual numbers. Something we can exploit.
Retrieving file. The Death Guard Vial Victorium. Now, this one is interesting. Senior Auditor Auspex rates this a 3.5 out of 5. He calls it a solid medium popularity box.
Solid medium. How inspiring. It's the beige of battle forces.
He notes the contents. Lord Felthius, 3 Death Shroud Terminators, 20 Poxwalkers, and 3 Fetid Bloat Drones.
3 bloat drones. Okay, my interest is piqued.
His commentary suggests, and I quote, "The biggest question is whether players have too many bloat drones already."
Too many bloat drones. Oh, you sweet, naive civilian. He's thinking like a player, like a hobbyist. Scribe, open the strategic wargaming market analysis. I want you to navigate to Section 4, ROI Correction.
Accessing. Section 4. The file is titled The Secondary Market Delta.
That's the one. Now, read the breakdown. I don't care about the points value right now. I care about the dollars.
The analysis breaks down the component value on the secondary market. The box MSRP is approximately $170. However, the breakout value...
Read it out loud for the class.
The breakout value is listed as over $320. Specifically, the 3 Fetid Bloat Drones alone are valued at $153 on the secondary market.
Stop. Let that sink in for everyone listening. You pay $170 for the box. The drones, just the drones on their own, are worth $153 if you sell them separately.
Sir, you are essentially getting Lord Felthius, the 3 Death Shroud, and 20 Poxwalkers for $17.
That is not a statistical anomaly, Scribe. That is an arbitrage opportunity. Auspex is sitting there asking if players need 3 more drones for their army list. He is thinking about playing the game.
A fundamental error.
I'm telling you to think about liquidating the asset. Scribe, initiate the profit protocol. We are going to teach the listeners how to perform a hostile takeover of their own bank account, courtesy of Grandfather Nurgle.
Initiating profit protocol. Step 1.
Step 1. You buy the Vial Victorium box. You do not hesitate. You do not wait for a sale. You find a retailer offering it at a standard 15 to 20% discount, and you pay the MSRP if you have to.
Step 2.
Step 2. You do not open the plastic bags. That nuanced sprues smell is the scent of value. Do not clip a single component. The moment you do, the asset begins to depreciate.
Step 3 involves the Fetid Bloat Drones, correct?
Correct. The secondary market is absolutely starved to them. Games Workshop sells them in a box of 1, just 1, for $60. But this box, this beautiful, disgusting box, has 3.
A market inefficiency.
A massive one. You go to eBay or your preferred resale platform. You list them as single fetid bloat drone, new on sprue. You don't sell them as a group, you part them out, and you price them at $45 each.
That is a significant undercut, sir. That's 25% below the official retail price.
Precisely. You undercut the official store. You undercut the scalpers who are trying to get $70 for one. You move volume. $45 times 3 drones is $135. You have now recouped almost the entire cost of the box.
And you still possess Lord Felthius, the Terminators, and the Poxwalkers.
Which are now effectively free. You sell Lord Felthius, who is a rare push-fit sculpt, mind you, highly sought after by collectors, for $40. Boom. You are now in profit. You've been paid to take this box.
And the Death Shroud.
You sell the Terminators for another $40 or $50. More profit. You can burn the Poxwalkers for heat in the winter if you have to. It doesn't even matter at this point. You have turned a plastic toy into a financial instrument.
This is what Auspex misses.
He misses it entirely. He rates the box for the game. I rate it for the wallet. This is the only strong buy on the entire list that literally pays you to own it. It is a glitch in the matrix, a pricing error by Games Workshop that we, as diligent auditors, must exploit before they realize what they've done and correct it.
But Senior Auditor, a question. If everyone who listens to this does this, won't the secondary market flood with bloat drones and cause the price to crash?
Precisely. That is why speed is of the essence. The report warns of a new on-sprue flood expected in late February. The window of maximum profit is closing. If you are listening to this, you are already late. Move.
I will make a note of that, sir. The urgency is palpable. Moving on to the...
Wait, Scribe, stop! Just stop!
Is there an issue with the data?
Do you hear that?
I hear. The hum of the cogitators, sir.
Yeah.
The data loom.
The ventilation fan. That specific one. In the corner. It has been humming in the key of B flat for 6 years. 6 years, Scribe. It is drilling a hole directly into my skull.
I had not noticed.
And this recaf. I swear to the throne, the machine spirit in the auto dispenser is dispensing promethium coolant again. It tastes like battery acid and despair.
I believe the machine spirit is temperamental, senior auditor. It requires appeasement.
Temperamental, it's malicious. It's actively trying to kill me. Just like the civilians listening to this broadcast. You. Yes, you, the one pausing to put another thin coat of gold on your trim. You think you know value. You think you can audit the ledger better than Valerius Krauss.
Sir.
You think because you watched a 10-minute YouTube video with happy, upbeat music that you understand market arbitrage. Go to the comments section. I challenge you. Post your correction. Tell me how I'm wrong about the Zangors. Tell me how fun they are to paint. See if I don't redact your entire existence from the administratum records. I have a stamp here with your name on it. It says heretic. Do not test me.
Senior auditor, perhaps we should return to the audit. The red Corsairs file is blinking red on the data slate. High priority.
Fine. The red Corsairs. So that is how you make money. But the Department or Analytica recognizes that some of you, in your infinite boredom, actually want to play the game. You want to win.
Ah, yes. The performance metrics.
And that brings us to the red Corsairs, the Lords of the Maelstrom. What does the civilian contractor say about this one?
Auspex Tactics reports this is the second most popular set with a 12% buy rate. He gives it a very high rating. 3.9 out of 5 stars.
3.9. So close to a perfect 4. What has him so excited?
He highlights the new Reeve Captain model, noting its special rule. It gives +1 strength and AP on the charge.
3.9 stars. Popularity. Popularity is a metric for teenagers and elected officials, Scribe. In the Department of Analytica, we do not care if a unit is popular. We care if it is lethal.
A different key performance indicator.
Popularity is irrelevant. Lethality is the only currency that matters in the current meta.
The strategic market analysis refers to this specific build as the Raider Rush meta-analysis.
Correct. Open the tactical addendum. Now, let's explain why this box is a strong buy from a competitive standpoint. It is not because the models look like cool space pirates. It is because of the synergy between the datasheet and the Renegade Raiders detachment from the Chaos Space Marine Codex.
The synergy is key.
Forget popularity. Let's talk about something real. Let's talk about the breakpoint. Scribe, what is the most common high-efficiency weapon profile in the current Space Marine meta? What are they all carrying?
There would be standard plasma incinerators and autocannons, sir. The profiles are typically strength 7 or 8, AP 2, and damage 2.
Damage 2. The magic number. The perfect marine killer. It hits a standard 2-wound intercessor and he pops. Efficient. Clean. No wasted damage. But the red Corsair Raiders, the Chosen and the characters in this very box, how many wounds do they have?
They have 3 wounds, Senior Auditor.
3. Is 1 extra wound truly that significant?
It seems marginal, sir.
Yeah.
Surely volume of fire would compensate.
Is it significant? Scribe, it is a mathematical abyss. It breaks the entire meta. If I shoot a damage 2 weapon at a 3-wound model, I deal 2 damage. He has 1 wound left. He is still fighting. He is still on the objective, scoring points. I have to waste another entire shot, another precious, high-value damage 2 shot to strip that final single wound. I have effectively half the damage efficiency of my entire army.
I see. So the enemy wastes 4 damage worth of potential firepower to kill just 3 wounds of infantry.
Exactly. You are forcing your opponent to overcommit their resources. And while they are dumping all their precious plasma into your 3-wound meat shields, your Reeve captain is charging their backline with +1 strength and AP, shredding their fire support. This box isn't just cool pirates, it is a stat check. It asks your opponent a simple question. Do you have enough damage through weapons? And for most armies, the answer is a resounding no.
If the answer is no, they lose.
They lose. The report also mentions the keywords on these units.
Yes, the infiltrate and assault keywords.
Infiltrate. That means they start the game already on the midboard objectives. Assault. That means they can advance and still shoot. Combine that with the Renegade Raiders detachment rule, which gives them extra AP when they're shooting at enemies on objectives. This unit is a self-contained killing machine.
The analysis in our report cites the recent Wet Coast GT 2026. It mentions that this archetype is specifically designed to hunt certain meta-predators.
Alex McDougall's winning Gene Stealer cults list. 600, a master of the Horde army. How do you beat Gene Stealer cults? You don't let them on the board.
So you use Infiltrate.
You use Infiltrate. You deploy the red Corsairs onto the midboard objectives before the game even starts. You create a wall of 3-wound meat and power armor that they cannot chew through efficiently. You seize board control from turn 0. Or what about Grey Knights? They love to teleport around the board, being all tricky.
Yes, a highly mobile army.
Fine, let them teleport. Let them teleport into a wall of AP2 bolter fire that's hitting on 3s and re-rolling hits and wounds because of their ruinous raid stratagem.
And the Reed Captain allows for the use of a free stratagem each turn, sir.
A free stratagem. In this economy, it's a government subsidy for violence. You are getting a free battle tactic every single turn. This box is not just a collection of models. It is a hostile takeover of the primary objectives. Auspex likes it because it's cool. I like it because it effectively invalidates the opponent's entire movement phase.
So the verdict is a strong buy for competitive players.
If you want to win games in Q1 2026, you buy this box. You buy 3 of them, you run 30 raiders, and you watch your opponent cry over their useless damage to weapons.
That sounds ruthlessly effective, Senior Auditor.
It is ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us finally to the climax, the grand finale, the big lie, the trap that nearly half the player base is about to walk into with a big, dumb smile on their face.
You are referring to the #1 ranked box in the Auspex poll, the Legio Custodes Battle Group.
The very one. What are the numbers on that, Scribe? The buy intent.
It's staggering. Auspex reports that 40% of his viewers intend to buy this box. 40%, sir. That is a massive market share. He calls them the Golden Guardians.
40%, an entire legion of gloss-brained optimists.
He does note that Games Workshop has implied that the Horus Heresy units within will not go to Legends, but he says he hopes for official confirmation.
Hope. Hope is not a strategy, Scribe. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. Implied. Social media posts. Since when do we base 6-month financial planning on a vague tweet from a community intern in Nottingham?
The market analysis contains a high-priority section on this. It's titled, The 11th Edition Warning.
Read it. Open the risk ledger. The hype is a siren song, Scribe, and the entire ship is sailing directly for the rocks.
Context. 11th edition of the game is projected for summer 2026. The report cites a historical precedent, the Kratos betrayal.
The Kratos betrayal. Let me remind the listeners, because memories are short and wallets are open. A few years ago, Games Workshop released the Kratos Heavy Assault Tank in a beautiful new plastic kit. They gave it 40K rules, they put it in the codex, people bought it, people spent months painting it, and then the new edition dropped. And what happened, Scribe?
It was moved to Legend status, sir, effectively banning it from all forms of competitive play.
They took your $125 asset, and overnight, they turned it into a museum piece. They rug-pulled the entire community. They did the same thing with the Leviathan Dreadnought. And now, what are they releasing in this box? Plastic Custodes Dreadnoughts and plastic Caladius Graph Tanks.
These are Horus Heresy designs, sir. They originated in that game system.
They belong to the Age of Darkness. The risk assessment table in our report classifies the standard Custodian Guard as safe assets, but the Contemptor Achilles and Galatus Dreadnoughts and the Caladius Tank.
They are listed as toxic assets, high risk.
They are toxic assets. Listen to me, all of you. Games Workshop wants to segregate the game systems. They want 30K to be 30K and 40K to be 40K. They're selling you these beautiful plastic kits now to clear out the warehouse and hook the whales before the edition change. But come summer 2026, when 11th edition drops, there is a statistical probability approaching 60% that those beautiful, expensive models get moved to Legends.
For the uninitiated listener, Senior Auditor, could you please define Legends status in practical terms?
Legends is the retirement home. It's the graveyard where old models go to die. It means the unit has rules, but they are never updated. The points are never balanced. And most importantly, they are banned from all official tournament play. You cannot take them to a grand tournament. You can only use them in garage games with your friends if they even allow it.
So you are paying premium prices for a model that has a high probability of becoming illegal to play in just 6 months.
You are not buying a model. You are buying an expiration date. 40% of people want this box because they see big, shiny, golden robots. I see a portfolio that is about to be forcibly liquidated by the rules team. The report calls it a compliance trap.
A lease on rules.
You are leasing the rules for 6 months. You pay $250 for this box, you play with it until June, and then the ledger resets, the rules expire, and you are left with a very, very expensive paperweight that you can only use in friendly games. And let's be honest, Scribe, there are no friendly games in the Departamento Analytica.
So the final verdict on the #1 box is a strong avoid.
If you are a dedicated Horus Heresy player, buy it. It's gold. If you are a competitive 40K player, it is a trap. Do not fall for the plastic hype. Stick to the core assets. Stick to the custodian guard. Do not overexpose your portfolio to 30K assets in a 40K market.
Understood. But Senior Auditor, one final point from the Auspex report. Regarding these high-demand assets, specifically the Red Corsairs and the Custodes boxes, he mentions they sold out in under 20 minutes in the UK and Australia.
Of course they did. It's called artificial scarcity. It drives the FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's a marketing tactic designed to create panic buying.
His advice is to keep checking back on the official web store.
Hitting the refresh button on the Games Workshop web store, that is a strategy for servitors. That is for people who enjoy repetitive strain injuries and disappointment. We have the real intelligence, we have the supply chain intel, the shadow stock list.
Accessing Section 7, Shadow Stock.
Read the targets. Where do the smart listeners go when the main supply line is severed by bots and scalpers?
For the United Kingdom, the primary target is Mighty Lancer Games in Bridlington.
Bridlington, a tactical stronghold. Explain why.
They utilize a manual priority pre-order list. The report says this old-fashioned method defeats the automated scalper bots. If the main web store says sold out, Mighty Lancer often has a reserve list you can get on by simply calling them.
Exactly. You talk to a human being, you get on the list. The bots cannot call for a number. They cannot negotiate. What about North America, the wasteland of corporate distribution?
For Canada, the target is Red Dragon in Ottawa. They have instituted a request system.
A $5 deposit request system. It's brilliant in its simplicity. It blocks the add-to-cart scripts that bots use. While the bots are spamming the main page, actual humans are filling out a simple request form. It is a firewall against stupidity. Use it. And for the United States.
The report strongly advises avoiding the megastores like Frontline or Miniature Market for the initial release wave. Instead, it says to target flyover retailers in the Midwest.
The flyover states, the places the coastal scalper rings ignore, Fabricators Forge, Dicehead Games, stores in time zones that the bots forget exist. That is where you find the gold sitting on a shelf. And Australia, the land of the eternal sold-out sign.
The Australia tax is severe, sir. The recommendation from our analysis is to pivot to New Zealand. The target is Vagabond Games. Import the asset directly.
Bypass the domestic shortage entirely. Smuggle it in if you must. Just do not sit there hitting F5 like a drooling grox. Be smart. Be a smuggler. Be a rogue trader.
That concludes the audit of the high-value assets, Senior Auditor. The file is empty.
Empty. Just like the wallets of the faithful are about to be.
Okay.
You know, scribe. Sometimes I look at these boxes, the glossy art, the promises of new, powerful data sheets, and I wonder if we are any better than the Zangors we so easily dismissed.
I do not understand, sir.
We chase the plastic. We buy the box. We clip the sprue. We paint the trim throne, the gold trim on those Chaos Space Marines. It takes weeks of your life. And for what? For a fleeting moment of dopamine when you finish. For a 6-0 record at a grand tournament that no one will remember in 5 years.
It is. The hobby, sir. A pursuit.
It is the zombie loop of consumerism. You buy, you build, you paint, you chase the meta. And then the addition changes. The ledger resets. Your S-tier unit becomes a legend. Your arbitrage opportunity becomes a shelf warmer. We are all just running on a wheel, powered by Promethium and plastic crack.
That is a very depressing outlook, Senior Auditor.
It is the only outlook that makes sense. The galaxy is burning, Scribe. And we are here arguing about the point efficiency of a mutant goat bird. But the Emperor protects. And he protects those who pay their tithes.
Indeed, sir.
So, listeners, taxable assets, if you found this audit useful, if I saved you money on the Zangors, if I made you a profit on the Death Guard, do one thing for me. For the love of the Empire, tap that like button, hit subscribe. It validates my continued existence to the New Sphere cogitators. It keeps the servitors from recycling me into cork starch for another fiscal quarter.
Please subscribe. The algorithm is hungry.
Dismissed. Pay your tithes, citizens.